As we approach these days of the 3 weeks, many of us question, what is it that we are supposed to be mourning? What are we supposed to be feeling? How do we connect to an ancient loss? It's something that we've been doing already for centuries. A number of years ago, my family and I experienced something that gave me an insight into this concept. I've actually used it for an insight into a pseudo-Kabbalistic concept, and that has in turn helped me understand a lot more how to relate to these days, both intellectually and emotionally. The concept is Shechinah beguluso, or the Shechinah in Golus. What does it mean that the Shechinah has gone into Golus? So let me share with you this story, and then I will be able to give you that explanation, and hopefully that will allow us to connect to these days better than we have in the past. About 21 years ago, when my youngest son was born, this is Simcha Dov's younger brother, he was born with an emotional dysregulation. And this really caused it to be very difficult for him to be able to be successful in school. And over the years, we have struggled a lot in being able to find him the proper setting. And at one point of time when we were living in Milwaukee, and we had tried to go into school there, and he was successful for a short period of time, but after a while that stopped being successful. After searching a lot, we found a school that would be appropriate for him in Chicago. But I was a principal in Milwaukee. It's an hour and a half commute. We tried the commute and it didn't really work. So we decided that we had to split up. My wife would rent a house in Chicago and come home for Shabbos. During the week, I traveled to Chicago twice, so that wouldn't be too many days that we would be separate. But it was indeed a very difficult time because we had to live apart there for the first time since we were married. And that was very difficult. But if we think about what happened there, my wife needed to be able to leave home and to be able to live in a different city in order to help and accommodate the needs of our child. I believe that's the concept of the Shechinah in Golus. The Shechinah, according to the Sfarim, is the emanation of Hashem that can be referred to as the mother figure of Klal Yisrael, as opposed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is more of the father figure. There are many different terms for it and explanations, but in a simplistic manner, we can understand that that's what the Shechinah is. The Shechinah is our mother, the mother that Hashem emanates into, and we relate to in that way. And when Klal Yisrael needed to go into Golus for the benefit of Klal Yisrael because of their actions, so the Shechinah went with Klal Yisrael, so that they would not be alone. They wouldn't have to suffer the Golus alone, which was very symbolic to what was going on in our lives, where Eli was not able to be by himself in Chicago. Part of his dysregulation didn't allow him to be in a dormitory situation, and his mother needed to go with him. And it was very difficult. But she did it out of love. She did it out of care. And we both agreed to separate because this was best for our child. But imagine what would be if Eli would say, "Mom, I want to go home." How strong of an impact that would have had on his mother to try something different. But even more so, what would be if Eli would realize because of his needs that he was causing his mother to have to separate from her home and from her husband? What would be if Eli would say, "Mom, I recognize that because of me, I'm causing you tremendous pain. I'm causing you to be separate from your husband. Let's try and find a way to make it work." That is what we are experiencing on these days. The Shechinah has separated and gone with us into Golus and can't be with us. And instead we have the situation as we see in the background. What we need to do during these days is to turn to Hashem and say, "Hashem, we recognize that the Shechinah, the Beis Hamikdash, has been destroyed and the Shechinah has left because we needed to go to Golus. And we are very focused on ourselves and we forget that. We are not aware of that. But we need to be aware that that has happened because the needs of Klal Yisrael needed to be exiled. But if we turn to our Father and say, Hashem, take us home, we realize it is because of our deeds and our situation that we've needed to be exiled, and therefore we've brought the Shechinah, our mother has come with us. But it's enough. Let's find a way to make it work. Let's find a way to come home. Avinu Shem Shamayim, bring us home and bring the Shechinah, our mother, with us.